this is where we work and live. And most companies, the people in the audience here, for instance, how many of you are employers? Hands up. How many of you are actually employees? Cool, right. The point is that how many of your organizations have remote working policies? How many of them actually encourage remote working? Cool. Okay, so the whole point of this is strictly that if you look at work, the way things are going at the moment, if a company like us can do that in a remote environment, anyone can really do it. And the biggest problem that a lot of places have is that if you take the whole agenda of remote working, it hits so many good things. The first thing is that in the cities it's too expensive to buy, okay? So therefore people are looking for alternatives to where they want to live. Companies are having problems attracting talent. If you want to widen your talent pool, open it up to more remote working. So basic technology has allowed this to happen. With the advent of cloud computing specifically, a lot more things can operate, as opposed to you don't need to be close to on-premise scenarios. And it's now become really affordable to deploy the various apps that are required in order to actually make the actual company more effective. If you look at it, for instance, if a company decides that they do want to encourage remote working, you have real estate costs will come down, your recruitment costs will come down, which are largely improved, and remote working increases the retention of your employees, and particularly the good ones. But there's one thing that's actually linked up here specifically that you need to take into consideration, and that's trust. So, the whole concept of work being no longer a place, people now think differently, work differently. Some people want to work from home. Some people will prefer to work from digital hubs. There's so many options for an employer and an employee to actually have. And it's up to both employees and employers to talk about this. And a lot of them are afraid to do so. So the whole concept of the Industrial Revolution, like the internet and everything else, has got rid. It's no longer the Industrial Revolution. People no longer basically work from 9 to 5. Sure, some jobs do, but they don't. People mix and match their life, their work balance, and it is possible. And there's no problems with that. There's a fantastic book written by a guy called Daniel Priestley called The Entrepreneur Revolution. And it's not even about being an entrepreneur. It's about the mindset of the people that you work with, and the mindset of your actual employer. And what it basically is saying is that everybody gives out about the millennials, the do X, Y, and Z, but they've brought an awful lot of things that work really, really well for companies. And it's the time to start listening to them and seeing exactly how it can work. But it requires, remote working does require a mindset. So it's not going to work for every job, it's not going to work for everybody. One of the big issues around it is the cultural change that's needed by employers and employees. So if you think about it, if you're one of these people who is constantly concerned of what your employees are doing every minute of the day, the chances of remote working for you is probably not going to work. Purely on the basis that it will probably drive you demented rather than actually that. But you have to let go of it to start looking at people and measuring them in terms of output as opposed to in terms of time. So the way we look at it in HRLocker is that, when you're looking at an employee in this day and age, and when I throw up this, most of my team go nuts, because there's two types of employees in the world in my mind, okay? And we compare business to like a bacon and egg sandwich, okay? So there's employee type 1, which is like a pig, and as part of the business or a part of the sandwich, they're very much committed to the sandwich, okay? And then there's employee type 2, which is more like a chicken, and they're more like involved in the sandwich, okay? So they're not really committed. So in order for remote working to really, really work in your organization, you need more pigs than chickens, okay? You need people to be more committed to what you're about, more committed to what they're doing, where they're living, and getting that balance correct. Again, if you look at this, would you prefer to be on the left or right-hand side of this? I spent most of my life on the left-hand side of this until I actually woke up to what was going on. Traveling in traffic, stuck in cubicles, sleeping under desks, not quite, but close on, waiting at train stations. And you look at the other side. If you encourage remote working, people are going to be way, way more productive. But they have to have the right mindset. Because I'm not one of these advocates that says remote working works for everybody or every business or every job. But when it does, it works really, really well. So, One of the important things to assess when you're actually looking at remote working in general is that all jobs will work remote, that all people are suitable for remote working. And you have to assess the actual workspace that the person is working in. Because this concept of actually being at home and working by the kitchen sink, it doesn't really work, you know? And when we interview people to work in our business, we make sure it's a Skype interview, or it's I think it's Zoom interview, or whatever technology we're using at that moment in time. And we always assess them, what the person is actually, where they're working, and what they're working with. And what we do is we ship out the desk, the same one as we have at work, the risers for the PCs, the same one we have at work, and the same chair. And we make sure that they have a place to do this within their organization. If it's a situation that a person prefers to work in a digital hub as opposed to working at home, then we basically do that. We will pay for the cost of the digital hub per month. And it works out as something, a lot of times, 30, 40 euros a month for somebody to work on that basis, once you do a decent deal with the digital hub involved. So it's really, really important that you make sure and you select the right tools. Like, for instance, we use Microsoft Teams. We have what we call, everybody in the software industry call Scrum. Of course, us in marketing and sales, we turn around and we have our meetings in what we call them morning lineouts, just to piss them off, just to join the allergy in regards to rugby and Scrum or whatever. But like, we have a call with everybody in the morning at 9. Last 10 minutes, what are your blockers for today? People go off and do their work. And then they basically come back and they dip in and out of Teams as they need to. But it's a discipline that is really, really important on that. So you need to choose the right tools, because the communication with remote workers, while it might seem great that you're actually working in your pajamas downstairs in your office, like, that's fantastic. But at the same time, people do suffer from anxiety from being away from the office as well, or away from the community that they're working with. So you have to make sure that that's taken into consideration. So, in terms of encouraging remote working, when we talk to people, like I do a lot of work, and I talk to John Reardon from Shopify, which is probably one of the best examples, from 90% of their workforce, I think it's 100% remote at this stage in Ireland. And I talk to John, and we talk about the troubles of remote working, and the goodness of it, and how to get over it. And it's becoming a massive tide of movement that's going on within Ireland specifically. If you think of it, like, if you have a remote working policy, how many people, like, I worked in large corporates, consulting to large corporates, and they would say, oh yes, we have a remote working policy. But do they really? If you're in a company and you're in a senior role, and you think your job can work remotely, how many of those senior execs are actually afraid to ask? How many of them are actually afraid to ask that their careers will be actually completely gone if they go and suggest this sort of stuff? So you have to, as an employer, basically keep an open mind to this. Because I know myself, at the age of 30, I had 2 kids, I was living in Dublin, I was paying a mortgage, just about, I was lucky to be able to buy a house, paying another mortgage to get my kids. I was broken, absolutely broken, right? And I didn't even think that I could have considered remote working at that moment in time. So what did I do? I started looking around for other jobs. So if you don't have the actual, if you don't encourage people to come and talk to you about this sort of stuff, they will go and look and get other jobs without even asking. And retention of really good employees is most important in what they call the fight for talent at the moment. So what I'm saying then is basically, in regards to remote working, people should talk about it, should holler about it. There's lots of things out there. There's an Irish company called, who are involved specifically in, Vanessa Tierney is the lady's name. I always have problems remembering the name of the company. Anyone can help me out with this one? Abodu, that's it, thank you. I can never get it right, even because I'm dyslexic and there's too many O's and B's and A's, and so I'm completely screwed on that one. But they have actually a site set up that they will assess remote workers, and then they can actually go and look and use their site in order to place adverts and hire them. There's also lots of other things. There's a lot of good stuff out there about it that we talked about, and it's really been taken up, and the government are half dipping into it as well. People then say, oh, we can't do it because from a compliance and an ISO perspective, blah, 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 we can't do it. That is complete and utter rubbish, right? You know, it can work, we've made it work. If you look at securities, you look at rules, you look at standards, and you look at what the blockers are to actually make this work, and you get over the blockers. And it's not that difficult with technology that is there today. So, if I had €1, £1, $1, for every time I've heard this, it gets asked in my business with my people. If companies actually start thinking about it, and thinking about it this way, and consider remote working, because if you've got a really good person, why can't you as an employer allow them to have a really good life on top of their job? And this is sort of the way that people are beginning to think now, and particularly younger people, when they reach the age of 30, they start thinking about other things rather than career and job. So, remote working, and I was chatting to Brian earlier on, it not only basically makes financial sense, but it promotes well-being sense within the individual. Like, I have a picture of a commute every morning. It's down, out of my bedroom, down the stairs, and into the office. It's absolutely bitch. It really is. I walk down the road, within 4 minutes I'm on the beach. Okay? I know I've probably taken it to the extreme. Some people might like mountains, they might like parks. You can even be a remote worker in Dublin, working in Dublin, where you actually manage to work from home for 2 days. You don't have to move to Lahinch or Donegal or wherever it is. So it's creating a well-being environment for the actual individual themselves. So, in this area, what I would say, don't be afraid of it as an employer or an employee. Be brave about it. Go and talk. Have those conversations. Go for it. Celebrate the successes, because you're always going to meet somebody. Oh, we tried remote working and it didn't work. They will tell you that one time it didn't work. They never talk about all the times that it did work, and it made a lot of sense. You're not alone on this either, which is really important, because if you look at it, right, they're screaming at the fact that, oh, we don't have enough houses in Dublin. Really? Or, you know, we need to put an extra road around the M25 to reduce congestion. Really? And you have the villages down in the west coast of Ireland, the south of Ireland going, we want to keep our graduates in the village. Which I think is rubbish, because if I'm 18 or 19 and I'm graduating from college, or 20, I don't want to be based in the Hitch or in Ballydehob or Borrisacane or wherever, right? I want to be in Temple Bar, having good fun and growing up, whatever. But and I keep saying this to the villages, they say, you know, you don't want graduate jobs in your business. You want them when they get to a situation that they need to buy a house, getting a little bit more mature. Google have already educated them. LinkedIn have educated them. They're broken. Now you want them to move to your village with loads of cash and either generate jobs within your village then, or basically build up the economy within your village. Okay? So again, some of the actual county councils are beginning to realise this, and they're putting up these digital hubs all over the place. It's very much on the green agenda, you know. I'm not a crazy, tree hugging. I am a surfer, but I'm not a crazy tree hugging person who drives an electric car, and this sort of stuff. But at the same time, my CO2 emissions are a lot less than most people who actually live in the city. And you have an amazing operation called Go Remote, which in 2008 had this. I went down to give a chat. I thought there was only about 25 people there. There's 250 people in Killarney. And we were sitting down through the whole thing. And there's this lady called Tracy Keogh, who has an amazing team. And they've grown it now to in excess of 52 to 57 chapters throughout the country, and in Spain, and in Portugal, who are constantly pushing the actual remote agenda, and how good it is. This lady is just incredible. Herself and her team, a big shout out to her, because she's just one of the most motivated people I've ever met in my life, and she's pushing that agenda. With the advent of 5G, the advent of better broadband, it's been an awful lot easier to be able to do as well. And the advent of cloud services makes things a lot easier, a lot cheaper, a lot quicker, a lot faster. Let's look at some stats around it. And everybody goes, Forbes magazine, they come up with 7 reasons basically why you should look at remote working. Lower cost, improved productivity, leaner, smarter team, higher number of part-timers, better alignment with employees, less overhead, increased cash flow, access to larger talent pool. And we added 3 more, right? Happier, healthier employees, more collaborative, okay? More productive, and better employee retention and engagement. So remote working is trending worldwide. And what I'd like to do, and I think what the likes of Tracy Keogh and the remote working teams, Go Remote teams, are looking at doing, we can actually make Ireland the remote working capital of the world. We have a problem in the stage, we employ 18 people. 7 of the 18 work remotely. We hired a guy in Portsmouth, then he found out where we were living, and then he kind of moved to us. We hired a Brazilian dude in Brazil, and now he's moved to where we are. So we seem to be hiring them remotely, and they seem to be moving to us, which to a certain degree is a high-class problem, but now it means we have to go and get another headquarters to actually fit these people through. So sometimes being remote, people see it and they go, okay, this makes sense. So it's up to you guys to encourage that. But I reckon if the government gets onto the government agenda, it gets onto the green agenda, it just makes complete sense for everybody. So, what I'd ask you to do, basically, is remote working. Is it right for your business? What jobs in your business is it right for? If you look at the good people in your business and you look at their jobs, and you look at the fact that they might be just waning a bit, maybe even suggest it to one of them. See what they think. What I'm asking you to do is to rethink, reinvent your strategy around employment, and reposition it. And as an employee, don't be afraid to go and ask, because obviously it depends on the person, but have a conversation around it. So, I think hopefully you understand what I mean by work being no longer a place. Remote working does work for your business, but it depends on the job, it depends on the person, and it depends on the employer. Thank you for listening. What I'd ask you to do is have a think about what your next action is in regards to promoting remote working, and please feel free to ask us any questions.